Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. Now, it may not be about strategy, I'm sorry guys, but it is about something extremely important, maybe on the slightly boring side, but it is about risk management. And each and every one of you guys watching this right now needs risk management. You need to have a risk management plan, and that is exactly what we're going to go over. So, make sure to stay to the end of this video. I am talking about a lot of important information. I'm going over why we don't follow our risk management plan, which is due to our psychology, and how to actually fix that. And I'm giving you real neuro hacks that I've used that work. So make sure to get out a pen and a pencil, somewhere to take notes, and start getting to writing this down. But see you in the video. Alright, so we are going to get into risk management today, but the first thing that we have to battle and attack are the reasons as to why we do not follow our risk management rules, what makes us break those rules, and how do we rewire our brain to stop breaking our risk management rules, follow them, so that we don't continue down the path and cycle of taking a trade with over leveraging, getting greedy, revenge trading. I know so many of you guys struggle with that. I know that is a cycle that we all go through, and it feels like it's never ending. But what I have today is going to change that. Your mind is going to be blown. So stay to the end of this video. But let's get right on into it. So, what are the three enemies of consistency? FOMO, revenge, and hesitation. FOMO is when you are chasing moves that you have already missed. Let's say, for example, you were watching a setup. For some reason, the setup presented itself. You were unaware. You missed it. Maybe you were watching something else for a little bit. And now you're like, damn, I missed that move. I'm going to, get in right now because I think it still has more room to run. That is you just chasing, not accepting the fact that you have already missed your setup, and that is that. So, you have to first understand that. Now, the second thing is revenge. Doubling risk to make it back. Going back into the market after taking a loss with the intent to make your money back from that loss. That is revenge trading purely. You're no longer trading with any structure, with any system. You're trading with your emotions. Now, number 3 is hesitation. This comes from, lack of confidence. This comes from taking repeated losses. Now, you're hesitant. You don't want to take your trades. You now see A+ setups, but your mind convinces you that maybe they're not A+ setups. They're not good trades. It's not a trade that you should take, and then you miss the perfect setup that is a part of your model. So these are the 3 enemies that we consistently battle with our consistency and trying to become consistent with trading. Now, these are also the reasons why we do not follow our risk management rules. And I also want to reiterate that I'm going over risk management rules today, but not just the rules. I'm actually taking you through how to follow them. So we need to first understand why we don't follow them, which are these 3 reasons. And then we're going to follow our rules. That's exactly what we're going to do. So, we have 3 neuro hacks here. Now, neuro hacks are much better than simply just telling you, oh, just be more disciplined and follow your rules. We all know how hard that is. It's much easier said than done, and I despise when people who are maybe teachers or mentors of trading just tell you, oh, just be more disciplined, just work discipline into it. It's not that surface level. You have to attack these things properly. And one way that I've built it, and one way I've personally been able to manage my losses, to manage my psychology with trading, and follow my risk management, are by these neuro hacks. So number 1 is going to be a pattern interrupt. So what you do with a pattern interrupt. So how do we use pattern interrupts to our best advantage? So when you're trading, what happens sometimes? Your brain will go on autopilot. You're clicking buttons out of emotion. You no longer are trading with your strategy because now your brain is in attack mode. You need to make your money back, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to hear it. What you need to do is, when that happens, or when you feel it coming on, you have to shock your system back into place. It sounds silly, but what you need to do is, the moment you feel the urge, the moment you start getting FOMO, you want a revenge trade, you're emotional, you have to stand up, walk outside, and say pause. That's what you have to do. You need to interrupt whatever is going on in that mind of yours, because I can tell you from experience, there are so many times where even if I'm live trading and recording it, I'm sitting here and I can't even talk because I'm so focused and I'm so zoned in on just the charts. But you need to get out of that. You need to interrupt your system. So you got to stand up, and you got to move, and you got to get away from the screens, put your phone down, don't touch it. Hack number 2 is pre-trade priming. So every professional athlete has a ritual they perform before they get on, or anything like that. Every musician, if you are in a band, there's something that you do to get ready before you go on stage, before the spotlight hits you. Traders should also have that as well. Sounds corny, but promise. So here's what I say. Before I enter the market, I take 3 deep breaths. I visualize myself waiting patiently for my setup, and I tell myself I follow my plan, not my emotions. Now, why do I tell myself that I'm waiting patiently for my setup instead of I'm visualizing a 5K day? Why do I do that? Because when you try to visualize a bunch of money that you want to make, that's going to make you greedy. That's going to make you want to give into FOMO, revenge trading. So, what you need to do is prime yourself before market open, before you start getting into trades. You have to prepare. So, and it's about reprogramming your brain to associate trading with calm, with clarity, not chaos and, oh my god, my price alert is here and there and I have to enter this trade and that trade. No. You have to be calm while trading. It's not, you have to have your system. So, you'll notice if you do actually do this, you will stop feeling so rushed and you'll feel prepared. So, that's the difference between a consistently profitable trader. They actually have a system and pre-trade priming instead of just hopping into the market. Now, number 3, rewiring the reward system. So, right now, I can tell you, your brain celebrates profits. It's happy when it sees you're in the green for today. And that's okay. That's how we all work. But what is the problem with that? It makes us chase trades and overtrade and revenge trade. So instead, what you need to incorporate is celebrating the process. So what I use is something called the A, B, or C game. After each trade, I grade my trades either A, which means I followed my rules perfectly, win or loss. It doesn't matter if it was a winning trade or a losing trade. What matters to me is that I actually followed my rules and my system. Now, a B trade means I might have bent a rule, maybe not the most perfect A+ setup, probably didn't have to take it. And letter C, means that I completely broke my discipline. I did not follow my rules. It was not a good trade. It wasn't a setup I should have been taking. But by doing this, your brain will start to crave A's. It no longer is going to crave monetary gains, because that is exactly what is going to mess you up. So over time, your dopamine hit comes from discipline, not by gambling the markets. Alright? So on to our next. We have the 3 neuro-hacks. Now, we got to talk more about risk management and what the actual rules are of risk management. So I can tell you, nobody likes risk management. We don't really like to talk too much about risk management. But The reality is it's the cheat code to survival. It's how you survive in the markets is by using risk management. It is not by getting aggressive and, trading heavier. No, it is by actually utilizing this wonderful, wonderful tool and system that we all have. So, think about it like this. If you were to lose all your capital, what would happen? You can't play the game anymore. You're out. So, what is our number one priority? To protect our capital, to continue to stay in the game. So, why are you ignoring risk management? The best traders are not the ones who win the most, who make the most. They're the ones who lose best. The best loser wins. Because what happens? We cut losses fast, and we're able to protect our capital instead of being aggressive and losing a hefty chunk that we should not be losing. So this is how you actually win long term. Now, my 3 golden rules to protect your capital for risk management. Number 1 is going to be a 1 to 2% risk per trade. Now, I don't mean you're only going to be putting in 1 or 2% of your account per trade. No, I mean your stop loss is not going to be bigger or wider than 1 to 2% of your account. So let's say, for example, you have a 10K account, right? And maybe you go in with a 2K size, $2,000 size, and you're risking 2%. So your stop loss would be near $200 or so. Because if you think about it logically, if you have a higher risk per trade and you take multiple trades and you have a lower win rate, what's going to happen? If you're risking 10% of your account, the money is going to quickly start to drain out. And you're not going to be as profitable. You're not going to be able to hold yourself above water because now you've been risking too much per trade. You're down a fat amount and you can't hold yourself up. Now you're not in the game anymore. So risk much lighter. It doesn't matter how big or small your account is. You should always be risking 1 to 2% when you're in a trade. Now, the next one is going to be a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. What does that mean? You're risking $100 to make $200. This is what I live by. If my setups that I'm trading is not, my take profit is not going to give me at least a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, I'm not going to be taking it because I strive for higher risk to reward ratios. So, 1 to 1 means you're risking $100 to make $100. That is still great. If you're a trader who likes to trade with a 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio, that is perfect, but these are my rules. So these are the rules that I follow. So, 2 to 1 or above risk to reward. Now, my third rule, which is extremely important, it's called the 2R kill switch rule. This means after 2 trades, you stop. If you take 2 trades, you're done trading. That's it. You're done trading. If you take 2 losses, you're done trading. If you take 2 wins, you're done trading. I don't care. 2 trades, that's it. You should not be taking more than 2 trades in a single day. Nobody needs to be taking that many trades unless that is your style. Maybe you're a scalp trader, so you don't go for high percents. You go for those small moves, potentially. But to save yourself and to save your mind, 2 trades per day, that's it. Win or loss. Maybe the first trade is a loss. What are you going to do? Is you're going to size down on the next trade. You're not going to size up because you're going to be revenge trading. No. You're going to size down. Maybe after 1 loss, you're done trading for the day. That could be it too. Maybe after 1 win and you go to take your next trade because you see an A+ setup, maybe you also size down on that because you've already taken 1 trade. Think about it logically. All right? So, this is a case study visual of what your trading looks like when you have chaos. Emotions are all over the place. Now, think about it this way. There's 2 types of people. There's the gambler and there's the casino. So, the gambler risks big on every hand. They win sometimes, but they also lose everything because one bad bet will wipe you out. And that's how a lot of traders will operate. But what does the casino do? The casino plays a different game. Casinos do not care if one gambler wins the jackpot. You know why? Because they have a system. They have fixed odds. They risk a tiny fraction compared to their bankroll in over hundreds of hands. The math plays out in the casino's favor. The casino also knows when to close the table down. So what do you want to be? You want to be the casino. You do not want to be the person who's the gambler who's filled with chaos. It's a funny way to put things as the gambler in the casino, but I feel like it adds up pretty well. So these are two traders. First one, revenge trading, emotional, chasing. The second one, controlled. They had a planned trade. They know where their stop loss is. They know where they're going to take their entry. And everything is planned out. And they were able to use their risk properly. So, which one are you going to be? What are you going to choose? I know what I'm going to choose. I know what I've been choosing, which is why I'm consistently profitable. So, if you're still struggling with following your risk rules and your risk management, I can guarantee this video, if you take what I'm saying to heart and write shit down, you are going to become successful. But, anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching me. I really seriously appreciate each and every single one of you guys, and I'm so happy to have this amazing of an audience. But I will catch you on the next video. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you want to watch any of my other videos, make sure to subscribe right here. And I also want to let you all know that my Discord is open and it will be linked in the description. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all next time.